Warpath commanders, this is Cairo legendary update. In my previous video in part 1, I just woken up and I told you guys the current situation at that time, and now after a couple of hours the situation is looking kind of like this. Uh, as I showed you in the previous part, S40 built their CC here, they tried to block the 300 and PFK here, and they were successful. UN44 have also built their CC here, they've also connected their villages back to their territory, so they can remove this CC if they want. In the previous video, Sen were building their CC here in the part 1, and they were trying to stop 27 and T, and 27 and T was struggling to stop the CC build, and 27 Sen got their bases and built their CC, and S40 bases also did come to the help of Sen. So the new development is they have made quite a progress up to here, which they shouldn't actually have. 27 and T were probably less active because they had built up to here in my last part, and Sen were just building their CC here at that time. There were still 37 minutes left, so they made virtually no progress after that. Maybe it was their off time. So now S40 and Sen are charging and trying to clear out because this bridge is crucial. It gave you the access to inwards, and this point is S40 are charging from this front now. 27 and T is struggling. Napo, one of their big guys, just getting attacked right now. As you can see, he's killing the troops, but he won't survive, obviously. So S40 are on the charge right now. I think 27 and T have the number of players and the firepower that they should have done a little bit better job, in my opinion. Just my humble opinion. Like they should have tried to have more groups. In the part 1, you would have seen they didn't have the field control when they were trying to block the build CC. You need to have MB light and helicopter groups like to have the field control, right? You needed to have fast groups, multiple of them, 2 or 3, to be able to stop, clear the ground, and then take out bases and block their build and something like that. S40 still would have cleaned them out, 27 and T, but they could have hold them and probably built a little bit more. It would have taken a longer time for S40 or even Sen to have reached this place that way if they had taken all these villages before, which they should have actually, because 27 and T, some of them did went here to help Goth and 300, but most of them, they had only one job on this side, so they were not that opposed compared to this side. This side was blocked wholly by S40 bases in the beginning because they thought as 300 and PFK would try to enter this side, and after realizing the 300 and Goth quickly built their CCs here. Goth came from this direction, obviously, and they just, have secured this blockhouse. As I was telling you in the part 1, that they will be able to secure this given the scenario I was witnessing at that time. So, this is a current situation. I think it's a very interesting one because had only one side of alliances controlled both the blockhouses, then it would not be fun anymore because the other side would just not be able to get inside and get to the pyramid. Now, if they are able to keep this blockhouse, which I am hoping they will be able to keep it, 300 and Goth and 27 and T will be able to get inside, and there will be another big fight for the pyramid. So this is very interesting, C4. Much interesting than all the previous legendary fights, because S20 weren't able to, S21 weren't able to get inside, and their allies. Even the previous Moscow 300 and their allies weren't able to get, to Kremlin, near Kremlin. So if they're able to hold this Goth 327 and T and PFK, they will have an entry point to go inside. So there will be another big fight. Obviously, S40 and their allies are going to try, F2P are going to try very hard. UN44 and S40 and Sen are going to try very hard to clean this and squeeze them and take this blockhouse away to deny them the entry. So there will be a lot of fighting in the coming days, but this is just the update that for now we can call it even. Both sides have one blockhouse. So there was an epic battle. Unfortunately, it was too early in the morning for me. I could not record it all. I did upload one part. If you haven't seen that, you should see that part. And that's about it, I guess. This was the update. So yeah, F2P and Goth are going head to head on this side. I just wanted to quickly take everybody up to speed because not everybody would have watched the whole fight from the beginning. That's why I explained the whole scenario. So everybody is up to speed of what actually happened before this. For those who haven't watched, obviously those who are part of it would know it better, or those who have actually seen it live or like were witnessing it, then they would know better story than me. But I just quickly try to explain to get everybody up to speed that didn't watch at all. Hope I have narrated it correctly. Do let me know in the comments if you guys have seen the whole war, if any of you have seen the live streams. I'm sure I see Mag44 had a live stream, I believe. I don't know if anybody else was covering it. I've never actually done a live stream. I will try it next time maybe. Because recording is much harder than live streaming. Live streaming is just easy. You just, I think you don't even require the memory. And this you have to just make the video, save the video, and then you edit, or like it takes a lot of space. Because HD videos in 1080p in high graphics is very hard. Like they take a lot of memory for the phone, and also they take a lot of space in your phone. So yeah, there's that. Recording live is much convenient. So Goth have built their another CC here because they want to deny the entry. You have to take this village to be able to take this village. So you have to deny S40 the entry, and CC takes a long time to burn. So Goth have pulled out these of their CCs, and S40 would be burning the villages. Yep. So they have made a compromise. They have disconnected all these buildings to build two CCs to block, because center is just too important. Sen and S40 have no CC here. Actually, they have also dismounted it. Sen have active territory, so they would be able to charge up to this military lab. So there will be a lot of fighting going on. On the other front, there is a stalemate. I believe it would stay that way, I think. Yeah, it would stay that way. Because that's not that important. 300 already has a military lab. Yep, 300 already has the military lab, so it's not that important. In the previous video, you guys would have seen that PFK had activated the base shield. So, S4T actually left the area. They didn't try to charge them, and they just went for north. to help Sun against 2790. Sun have a lot of active bases. Yeah. Are they crossing the bridge? Okay, 2790 is still here. Napo is jumping here and there. What 2790 is lacking actually is not the number of players. They do lack number of groups they run. Bases can't survive if you give your enemy the whole battlefield to assemble and form groups and have no opposition to just roll to the bases. Some are at the bottom as well, so it's gonna be very hard. There's 40 is charging from the north, Sun are coming from the south. Yep, very bad situation. Looks 2780 will have to drop this CC over the other one. Maybe that is here, I believe. Yep. They'll have to lose some territory on the sides and some buildings to be able to retain this area. They'll have to build the CC here maybe to keep the S14 Sun at bay alongside Goth. And 300 and Goth together will also keep F2P at bay at this point. So Goth are under a lot of pressure. They have to fight on two fronts. And very tough alliances, F2P and S40. UN44 will not be able to assist F2P much because they have come to here. Like, this is a chokehold point. Like, there is sand, you can't move from here unless you go from this bottleneck point. It's a funnel process, so it's very hard to remove 300 bases or even Goth bases in this funnel point. It will be very hard to cross this area. They will just keep replacing bases with bases. If one gets blown, the other will take place and there will be group fights and they won't just let anyone cross. There would be roadblocks and turrets built and everything, and it would be very hard for UN44 to pass through here. I think even if S40 builds the CC here, it would be super hard for them to cross onto this blockhouse. It would be very hard. Because this is a very narrow terrain. Like, this is the whole point. You put a ton of howitzers and a lot of groups here and a lot of fighters and bombers, and this will be a choke point. So nobody will be able to cross from here, in my humble opinion. Things can happen, you may have less active players at some given time and you might end up losing that corridor, but it will be very hard. Risky move by Roma. He tried to snipe these units from the back, but the distance was just too much. This is where S40 shines. They take the ground control and the air control mostly. The field control is super important to have fast army groups comprising of MBTs, helicopters, and light tanks, and have 3 to 4 of them at least to be able to keep the ground control. And then you have howitzers and ATGs and RLs and super heavies and stuff. Now this is where the S2790 have to take a stand. But Sen are crossing this bridge. This is a huge mistake by 2790. They need to have groups to be able to stop this advance. Just parking bases won't be enough. There need to be some big players of 2790 coming here and bombing this shit. Bombing the howitzers. Like, it would be very hard if you don't stop them and let them come like this in such droves. No base would withstand this. This is literally the easiest point to stop at a bridge. Bases can't withstand such massive army groups. You need to have groups on the field to counter them and stop. No matter how strong you are, your base will fall if there are enough number of howitzers and infantry and a very strong, tanks and stuff. Your only counter is to. They are telling probably somebody jumped here. Yep. Bases have jumped here. They need to snipe these units going from here. Napo is trying his best, but one of few big guys won't be enough. They need to come up with groups. You need army groups. You need like 20 to 30 players to come here, land here, and start forming groups, and then you try to defend the ground control or something. Yeah, see how deep the enemy are into the 2790 territory. They need to form these more groups and send them forward. 2790 have to do a little bit better than this to be able to stop them. Because S40 is charging from north. This fight has been going on for, guys, 6 hours and 50 minutes now. Crazy. That's when the blockhouse is opened, and the fighting has never stopped ever since. That minute. There are so many of them in that bridge. Ideal place to bomb. Does this guy not have bombers or is he not online? There are very little fighter cover actually. They should try to bomb this. Here they come, bombers are coming up by Goth finally. This bridge was an epic place to bomb. Yep, Goth realized the opportunity. It's 2790 that should be bombing actually. Napo got taken out. Yes, this was ideal opportunity. There was very little fighter cover and lots of howitzers on the bridge. This was the perfect time to have a bombing run. Goth have a lot of presence of mind from what I've seen, and they are not afraid to take risks and use and take the advantage of the situation. They killed a lot of howitzers, a lot of howitzers. This was great move. Goth army group is also coming now, which is nice. Goth are doing an amazing job, guys. This Goth is definitely now a legendary alliance. They have played awesome. Now they have to be very careful moving forward because there's a lot of howitzers. But we need 2790 to do better. They need to have groups and bases here. Goth groups are getting bigger. Goth are doing the right thing, trying to stop Sen instead of S40 mainly because S40 very hard to stop. They just have bases here, so ooh, lots of rocket launchers. Goth are taking S40, sorry. Out bases with rocket launchers. I wish I can record for hours, guys, but this is it. There is some noise in the background, and I have to go as well because the memory would be full.